Well, that was a little hectic. The port captain and customs and the Navy come to your boat with a dog and guns to inspect you, to check you out in Chiapas. But I had forgotten that the time changed on April 1st and my phone was off by an hour. So they showed up, and I mean, it was fine, but then you've got to go. You can't hang around. Jesus, the boat, you know, it was ready, but I still had a lot of stuff to do. I hadn't eaten and stuff. So anyway, I just left Chiapas, Marina Chiapas, and I'm heading out through the channel here on my way to somewhere, El Salvador, Honduras. I'm not sure where. So the name of this video will reflect where I decided to go, I guess. We're almost to the Guatemalan border. It's been a little hairy, actually. The wind's been pretty strong on the, well, off the starboard bow, but so we've had to beat into it, and man, just pounding, you know. Well, I caught a skipjack. It's not my favorite because the meat's really dark, like bloody. I'll show you. But I need it because I don't have anything else to eat. Or at least no protein, so I'm gonna eat it. It's weird about cruising. Sometimes it's just sitting around, you know, doing nothing. Other times, man, I mean, like, you just work and work and work, and you don't get to choose when that is, you know. When there's stuff to do, you got to do it, and then there's nothing to do, and you just sit and you wait for things to happen. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're somewhere off the coast of Guatemala, about 12 miles off. Should cross over into El Salvador, I think, sometime this evening. I'd have to look again. We motored all night. I didn't sleep very good because we're in shipping lanes and I had to constantly watch for ships, and the AIS alarm went off a couple times. Not that I could sleep very well anyway, because I still have to get up every hour, but just knowing that, you know, I've got to be more diligent. Not every hour, every 45 minutes or so. So, but after motoring all night, the wind came in a little bit this morning off the land, and then so we're sailing along about 3.5, 4 knots. And this bird came to visit, and he just kind of sits there, and then he flies away, and then he comes back and lands again. So I at least have some company. No more smushy, no more Hana, but I got this little white bird. Two pongas are racing this way. I don't like to see that. I'm like 15 miles off the coast of Guatemala. Just keep going, guys. Just keep going. thankfully they just waved. No, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, but Jesus, you know. If it's just one, it wouldn't be so concerning. When there's two, it's like, what? Why? What are they doing, you know? Yeah, it's getting busy around here. The U.S. warship over there, I heard them on the radio leaving Puerto Quetzal. Because they were on there saying Securite warship number 13 or whatever. And the dolphins are here. And there's the pongas sitting over there. I think they're fishing. I hope they're fishing. And I'm nothing but tired, man. I really just want to take a nap. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, or somewhere around there. I'm not sure of the time actually, because I think we changed time zones. But we're about 10 miles past Acajutla, El Salvador, and about 9 miles off the beach. And we motored all night again. I turned the RPMs way down, like 1600, and just went like 3.5, closer to 4 knots, I guess. But we were beating into a little bit of a sea, into some seas, so it was not pleasant. Well, shit. That wind came up fast, man. It was right on the nose, and it was like, 8-10 knots. And so I was trying to decide which way to point where I could get a better course, towards my destination. I decided to go offshore, and man, the wind picked up fast. I got a double reef in the main, and it was still picking up. I took more jib in, it's still picking up. Finally, we were launching off the top of waves and crashing down into the trough. And it was coming up over the bow and shit. So finally I hove to, I don't, man, it just was so sudden and so strong. I think it might be down a little bit now. It's maybe 20 knots, but still right on the nose. And so anyway, I'm hove to. You can probably see behind me. I'm going to stay like this until it comes down a little bit, we're going still a knot and a half in the wrong direction, but Jesus. It was a little scary, to be honest with you. Well, this is the end of a trying day, man. What a rough day. We're motoring now, the wind died. Still a tiny bit, so I guess we're motor sailing. But, we're still going into these waves, so it kind of goes koosh, you know, bashes up and down a little bit. But sun's about to set. Hopefully tomorrow brings on a better day. It's 8:30 in the morning of my fourth day after the third night of sleep. I slept. I don't know what the deal is. I set the alarm for 45 minutes to an hour, you know, based on where I am on the coast or what I see around me or whatever. And I slept every single one of those. I was tired. The alarm went off every single, well, not every time, but if it didn't go off, it was just about to go off. Man, I'm still tired. I don't know if it's just because I don't get into deep REM sleep or what, but man, I could pass out right now. Well, the wind came in nicely and we're sailing under single reefed main and full jib. That's El Salvador behind me there. The problem is I'm kind of surrounded by fishermen and trawlers, you know, and they got their gear out, their rig out, and I'm not sure which way to go. I see at least 5 of them in front of me. I'm kind of threading the needle through the middle of them here, but I'm under sail, so it's, you know, not that maneuverable. I guess I am, but you know, I set the tiller pilot, so. Well, I just spent an hour getting the motor running. I have a bad connection somewhere, like on, I think it's the starter, the negative starter. Anyway, finally got that going because the wind died. But we are approaching Punta Amapala, which is the point I'm going to try to get behind to anchor. It's in El Salvador, and I'm not checked into El Salvador, so hopefully they leave me alone and just let me rest in there for the night. And then tonight I'll have to think about where I'm going tomorrow. I mean, shit, it's only another 25 miles to Nicaragua. Honduras is up in here and another 10 miles up to Gulf. I'm thinking about going there, but man, it's quiet. That's Volcan Conchagua, El Salvador, right behind me. That island is Conchiguita, named after the volcano, obviously. And then Mianguera next to it. And in between them, back in there, is Isla del Tigre, Honduras, which I hope to go to. This bay is huge.